Download the BCSN Plus app today. Inside the NLL is presented by Metzger's. Metzger's means more. Commercial printing, fulfillment, and mailing all in-house.
Inside the NLL basketball season, just under a month away. We cannot wait, and we have Findlay boys basketball head coach Ryan Grose in studio. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I'm always curious because year two, it's sort of easier in a way because year one, you're coming in, you're new, trying to establish a culture.
Sure.
So how does, I guess, the year two preseason compare to that of last year?
Well, it really starts in the off season, and that's the best part about it. You know, we have a summer program, and it's just an opportunity, one, for kids to get in the gym and build relationships with them, but, you know, kind of lay that foundation of work that you want to bring into the season. And so, you know, getting hired year one, that's kind of rushed, and so we had a full spring, a full summer, that we could, you know, work on kind of our foundation for this season. And then, you know, heading into preseason, it's been great. You know, the success of the football team was certainly a plus for us. You know, I always tell the kids, you know, sometimes you're worried about, you know, oh, we're going to be missing football kids. And my best seasons as a coach is when the football team wins. So really? I was happy to see them have success. And, you know, we're still getting some of those guys in the mix this week because they just finished up. But certainly from that standpoint, just building a foundation with those guys, and, you know, they kind of already know what to expect from me, and I know what I can kind of demand from them, and so that transition has been great this year so far.
And I think that pops out about your roster. Last year, you had only one senior, so I could only imagine the level of experience and continuity that you have this year. How much ease does that put on you, knowing that you have so much continuity? Yeah,
we've got 4 seniors returning, you know, or I guess, yeah, that would have been juniors for us last year, and then we've got 4 more seniors that have
experience.
Decided to come back out, right? Guys that chose not to play last year that are back, and certainly that's going to be a help for us. But just, you know, with seniors, you know, comes experience, comes the understanding of, hey, we got to get in there and we got to grind a little bit in practice. And so it's been super competitive and been fun to coach, right? And molding some of those guys into, you know, what we do, and they've jumped right in and been, you know, positive influences on our program. And certainly depth always makes it more fun.
And when you look at the guys that are returning, they know your system, they know the drills, they know how you like to run practice. So with that, knowing that that's already established, what is the next step for your program?
Well, you know, obviously, you know, building on at least the foundation we tried to put in last year. Obviously, the wins on the floor were, you know, few and far between. So, you know, taking the next step for us, competing in our conference first and foremost. You know, we want to always, you know, try to compete at the top of our conference, and then, you know, beyond that, Northwest Ohio. So I think, you know, when you look at your season, you know, conference championship and competing for that first, and then, you know, a district championship second. You know, we're gonna have to put in a ton more work to be able to get that done. But and obviously, you know, we already talked a little bit. The NLL is a grind in itself. So, you know, big goals for our guys. But I think we've got a group that, you know, understands. You know, it's going to take a lot of hard work to do that. And, you know, so far in the first 2 weeks of practice, we're off to a good start.
Cannot wait to see what the Trojans do this season. Findlay boys basketball head coach Ryan Grose. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. Look forward to following your team all season.
Appreciate it.